work on some more art and see what we can get going here for you. And where I'm actually working art-wise, last night was still working on the poster for the Inspire Pro event that's coming up very, very shortly. Thought I was done last night. Just set on my other window here, so I'll be able to actually monitor things properly for you guys today, and go from there. Hopefully everything's going to be actually working wonderful. Alright. So you got a nice view of my portrait here. My son's still wide awake, so he's probably going to be coming in and harassing me from time to time, but that's alright. I love the little demon. If you're not following him on YouTube, you should. He does live streams and stuff. He's only 4. He wanted to start one because of Dan TDM and popular MMO guys and stuff like that. So he does a lot of Minecraft, a lot of Hello Neighbor, games like that. So if you do like that stuff, go ahead and head to YouTube, do a search for Xanamazing, XANAMAZING, and you'll find him. He's probably the only one out there with that. But yeah, so where we were at last night, I got almost all of this done with the poster here. He wanted me to stretch out a couple things, add the word rematch up a little higher, but also there was 2 more additions, and I had to get those in there pretty quick. And right now, I'm actually just worrying about the final edition. There is a wrestler who's not on this poster, and he's not on this poster because we weren't sure if he was going to have a match or not. And I spoke about this last night. Things changed quite a bit. They still don't know who he's going to be wrestling against, but they do know that he's going to be there, and that's the important thing, to make sure everybody is represented. Something they really do care about, and that's awesome, especially from a wrestler standpoint. So we're going to go into this banner here, which you saw me pull stuff from quite a bit. Actually I opened the wrong one. That happens. But we are going to go into old banners from a previous event to get his image off of. Mainly because I do not have time to redraw him. It's just there's not enough time. I need to get this done probably within the next 15 minutes or so, give or take, because it needs to go out for printing for their posters and everything. Probably about 2 days ago was when I should have actually had it done. But there, like I said, there was changes, and it comes down to the very last minute when it comes to designing anything like this. So let's get in here. All we need to do is just grab Matt's folder here, and he's going to be gigantic on here compared to everybody else, but we are going to change that as quick as we can and get things looking nice and good. Alright, so he is now in there, and we need to get him the right size. Like I said, he is going to have a match. I just don't know who he's going to be against, and because we're so close to the deadline, we need to kind of just get him on there. It's kind of a featuring, featuring Matthew Palmer. That's his name. And let's see what we can do here. The one thing is, I know the head of the Inspire Pro Wrestling is doing a film event right now, so when I make these changes and everything, I won't have real-time feedback from him yet. So to kind of pass the time, I'm going to kind of save this out. Once I have something kind of laid out, I'll shoot him a message about it, And then whenever we can get him to get back to me real quick, we will be going ahead and making any last minute changes and kind of go from there. There we go. Last minute tweaks and turns and flips and flops. All we need. There we go. And as everybody here knows, my computer runs like absolute horse crap when I have a document with this many layers open. The last layer I added to this, I believe, was layer 97, but that's not counting every other layer in here that I already named. So let's get Matt over. I think he would fit. Right around there. Let's just see what we can do here. Boom. Like I said, this is just going to be one of those kind of featuring kind of things. Kind of go from there. Perfect. All right. Save those. Pop them into his folder. Make this color the same as every other color we have for those types of things. I know some of the text here looks like it's hard to read, but what you need to realize is my monitor's only 1920 by 1080, of course, resolution-wise. Good old 1080p. But what happens is the poster itself is going to be a 11 by 17, I believe, is what they're going to be printing them out at. So it will be, it's a lot easier to read when it's 100% there. For instance, I mean, right now we're at 16.7% size-wise. So we're good there. I'll move that featuring down a little bit. So just for instance here, say we zoom in 100% and cross our fingers that my computer doesn't crash. We're at 50 right now. And it looks all blurry right now because it's just, there we go. So 66.7 and then 100%. So at 100% you can see the details that I put into the drawings and stuff like that for everything. The logo, Matt Palmer here. So everything's very legible, thankfully. And you'll see some of the wrestlers aren't quite as detailed as some of the others. Like this JC Rez piece, I really want to redo. Really want to redo bad. He was one of the first guys I ever drew for the company. And when I drew him, it was for a small banner for YouTube. And whenever he was put on for a show, it was always at the very last minute, and I always just kept reusing the art and reusing it. At some point I lost the original PSD file, but it was very low anyway, so I had to take a JPEG, upscale it, try to sharpen it, throw a little bit more detail in. He is not the best right now. He will be fixed eventually. And then we got these guys. He's a little bit better drawing-wise than some of the others. Some of the newer ones around here. I redid him already, Andy Dalton. So it comes down to having the right time and everything. So where we're at now is 99% the final poster. We're going to be, because I guarantee you once I send this over for approval, this will probably need to be moved, and this will need to be moved. Not sure where to. So if I send it like this, it at least will give them something to look at. And something to say, okay, well, we want the new movement stuff adjusted slightly. We want it Matt Palmer to be where, say where Delilah's match is, and we'll move Delilah's match. Whatever happens. But I am going to save this. And then the very last thing I like to do for my posters, and this is just a pure personal preference, it's something I do for every poster that I do, because I treat my posters, I treat all my art as actual art. I like to go ahead and add a canvas kind of feel to it. This brush hates me, though it's going to take a while, but it's another one of Kyle T. Webster's brushes here, and I just go like this. It's a special canvas brush specifically made to make my life a lot easier. And it's going to take forever for it to go ahead and actually show up, but that's alright. Once it shows up, it darkens the image a lot because I just paint over it with pure black. But once that's done, once it's actually on there properly and everything's looking good, that's when I'll use layer modes. I'll just go ahead and change it, make it normal, make it take it from normal. I usually like to just do overlay, so that way just certain colors will pick up the kind of graininess, canvas kind of look. And I just really like the look. That's a personal preference. It doesn't really add to the artwork too much. One thing it really does do, and I can fully admit that this is one of the reasons that I do it, is it hides some mistakes, and hides them pretty well. So if I had any mistakes or I didn't render something out nearly as much, it instantly goes ahead and makes it look better. Alright, so let's go ahead and cross our fingers here that it doesn't crash, because I've been having nothing but headaches today with Photoshop. Not so much on my MacBook, which I have here. So there we are. Zoom in a little bit more, see if we can get a better look at it. Oh, Captain, my Captain. Okay. Alright, so it's all in there. Actually, I might not need to... I don't think I need to actually change it from normal there. I think it was just light enough. There we go. Yeah, it just adds that little bit that I personally enjoy. So what we're going to do now is make these logos the right color. Boop. Finally, shebang. One thing I definitely need to do is make sure I get all of my fonts on both computers at this point, because font substitution's a pain in my butt. There we go. Eventually it'll actually work for me. if things want to actually load. Alright. I get asked the most strange questions sometimes from friends. So I answer them. Not that I'm ignoring you fine one person who's watching, which I think might be my own computer monitoring things. I don't know. If there is anybody actually here, say something in the chat. Ask a question, do something. That's all, stuff that I would like to have happen. So let's go through here, and I'm going to do a quick social media tweet out. Let people know I am live once again. There we go. I'll be right back. And I'm back, everybody. Need to tuck the good old boy into bed and tell him it is time, almost time, for that sleep thing to come. Unfortunately, he didn't wake up until almost 10 a.m. today because he was being lazy. So I could have done the adult thing and woke him up, but he was all cute. He was peaceful. I didn't want to ruin that. There we go. Go. Perfect. So the tweet is out. We are good to go. What I would like anybody who's watching to do is share. Go to my Twitter, SRice13. Go to my Instagram, ThatStevenRice, and share. Just share stuff. Follow me. Let's get this stuff moving. And kind of go from there. We'll see. We will see. So, this is where I'm at with the poster. I'm going to send a copy over to the decision makers, the deciders, the folks of the folkiness. There we go. There we are. And I am going to share it on Facebook here too. And I'm going to get all of you in here as well. So, let's take a picture of everybody here. Boom. All right. And here's where my silence takes over. And the world falls into disarray. Maybe not disarray, okay. But that's the way it goes. So until I hear back from the Inspire Pro gentlemen and see how we're doing there, I'm going to save this, which I just did. I'm going to close it out just for memory purposes, and I'm going to go over to the portrait I'm doing of my friend Brianna. This one is almost done. And when I say almost, I mean I'm about maybe 3 or 4 hours away from it being done. But this is done. That's a lot closer than it has been. It's just the way it kind of works. So, what I am going to do here is once everything loads up and stops being a pain, I'm going to grab my reference picture as well. Like I said, I use my references, and that's just the way my art works. Can I do stuff without references? Of course I can. that's kind of a duh thing. Of course I can do stuff without references. But when it comes to something like this, when it comes to a portrait that needs to be done of someone's face accurately, and you're on a time limit, not a huge time limit, but a time limit, you want to make sure everything looks right. And that's what I'm here to do. So, I'm going to go ahead and get this matched here. Alright. And I'm going back in with my colored pencil brush, and we're going to be adding some more detail. And when I add the detail, I like to keep it at 100% zoom and kind of go from there. Let's see. Alright. And just like that, they got back to me. So, they want me to lose one piece of the poster. So, what it was, and I believe if you were just watching, you would have seen that I said they probably want this gone, and that's right there. The New Movement Reborn. That stuff, he ended up not wanting. Now, I'm not going to erase it. I'm going to, boom, do that there, take another picture, and let's see what we got. Excellent. Sent out. Let's hear what else we have.
So I'm still waiting to hear back from this. This is the real poster with you right now. Like, a year ago, his grandmother died, and he was like, recently very much like, I'm sorry, I'm really tired. He went dark yesterday, and he said, I'm not going to be around at all online. I can't answer anything. I'm going through this. I'm like, okay. And then it turned out that he was just like bummed out about his grandmother dying like a year ago, and so I guess
saved. All right.
But like, it just became kind of a pain in the ass. Jerry, Andrew, is officially back in action on Blackbird. So it's trying to make things work now.
Alright. So what I'm doing is I'm just adding some highlights. Get a little bit of detail where I may have not drawn it in. Get a little bit lighter colored pencils in there. And it just adds to the entire look of things.
We just want to make sure that like whatever Matt's doing kind of is in there, just because it's so important. Just waiting to hear back from like who we have, Cherry, Matt, whatever you have for Cherry, or Cherry.
Okay.
We just want to make sure that like whatever Matt's doing kind of is in there, just because it's so important. Just waiting to hear back from like who we have, Cherry, Matt, whatever you have for Cherry, or Cherry. The movie that I was thinking is like,
All right.
so tired, dude.
So this is the part I really kind of enjoy when it comes to working on the artwork and stuff, is kind of working through the details, seeing what kind of lines up, and kind of going from there. And just kind of making things look a little bit better. And one hard part is, unfortunately, to make sure that you all can see my pretty face as clearly as possible. I have my key light right here. Literally, I can tap it with my pen, just right there. And I have my reflections, my lighting and everything, and it messes with my eyes a little bit at times. So you'll see me occasionally be squinting and closing one of my eyes and stuff, and that's just to make sure that I didn't mess up anything. Seeing a highlight where there isn't a highlight there, or anything like that. So there's a nice white highlight right here on her lip there. And when it comes to accurate portraits, or at least semi-photorealistic portraits, I don't know if mine are really accurate, but people like what I do, and that's the important thing. A lot of people, wonder what the decisions I make, why I do them. And it's just, if I like the way it looks, like I drew a square on the lip. I thought that just kind of worked for the highlight. Is the highlight actually square? Not really. It's more of kind of a flattened egg. But I think it looks good on the art side of things, at least. So that's where we're at with that. Adding lines, removing lines, seeing what we can and can't get away with. And kind of go from there with it. So, to my one viewer who is watching this, if you have any questions about the choices I make, or art in general, you can let me know. If you've never watched my stream before and you want to know a little bit more about my art background, or who the hell I am and why I feel that people want to watch me do art, feel free to ask that too. I'll answer it for you, because why not? Doesn't hurt my my soul any to kind of explain things here and kind of get that going there. I'm just cleaning up some of the texture I put on a little bit ago, a couple days ago. I added some texture, and it works most places. I don't like it around the border. I like a clean border most of the time when it comes to stuff. So I just clean it up as much as I can. In about, I'd say 15 minutes or so, I'm going to go make sure that my little boy is actually asleep. Hopefully he is. Just because it makes life easier for him to actually get some rest, because this morning was chaos. He was a ball of energy, to say the least. And when I say to say the least, I mean he was absolutely nuts. So I'm going in here, and I did as much colored pencil as I want to do on this first portrait here. So what I'm doing now is I'm moving on to her doggo, and we're going to detail the doggo out and get things looking nice here. You can see I have some texture already in the dog's body, because I did texture all over the entire piece already. Just because that kind of helps when I'm filling stuff in, just to kind of see what things would look like on the finished piece. A lot of times I end up not keeping the original texture that I put in. I kind of wipe it out, and once the texture is wiped out, then I'll just add a little bit of new texture in, or anything like that, just to get things moving there. Alright. you'll see when I'm working with animals and stuff like that. I'm not as confident as I am when I'm doing other stuff here. So don't know why my computer is acting up more and more every single day. Like my Alt key gets stuck when I don't even touch it, and I don't get it. Because I think sticky keys just keeps getting turned on, and it's really, really, really annoying me. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to get rid of it yet again. It's a pain. I don't understand why it happens ever since the Windows 10 Creative Update. Yeah, it's not that it's turned on. I don't understand. Just checking anything else that could be causing the headaches that I have when it comes to my keyboard just not working right. So let's see. Yeah, it is not doing a single thing properly. Oh, my life. This is my life sometimes, everybody. My life, my life, my life. Like, why is it in Pencil Tool now? I don't know. I didn't tell it to go in Pencil Tool. Why is it not allowing me to hit any of my modifiers? I don't know. So I need to not reboot my whole system, but I am going to head and rebooting my tablet here real quick. See if that might help. Because if not, we're going to have a headache during this stream tonight. Alright. There we go. So it looks like the tablet is now back up and running where I want it to be. Hooray for small favors. Hoorah. So I'm not nearly as good with animals, drawing wise, as I am with humans and stuff of that nature. I grew up with dogs. I grew up with cats and have cat and dog and 2 cats and a dog right now. But I never felt the desire to draw or paint animals. I was asked to do one not that long ago, and that became a big debacle, a big headache. It was a private commission. They knew what my work looked like. I had the contract drawn up and everything for this private commission, and kind of explained my process, that it is a digital piece of work. You're paying me for the digital piece of work, and I'll go ahead and shoot you out a print as soon as I can, so that way you can have a copy of it, or I'll knock a couple bucks off the price, and you can go ahead and take it to a print shop of your liking and get a print off at that point. That's kind of the way it is. I do a free gift of the print, and it's included in with the price. And if you end up going, hey, I'd rather take it to my friend here who runs an actual print shop, he can print it a lot bigger than you can, which I can only print up to 13 by 19 with my particular printer, which is down on the floor here, right next to my feet, because I have too much stuff all around me. But and I go, hey, that's fine. I'll go ahead and knock 25 bucks off the price for you. Go ahead and get it printed wherever you want. So I was doing this commission for somebody out in Washington State, and things were going fine. I was shooting updates pretty much regularly of the initial sketch and everything, and it was of this person's fiance's dog, whom he loved, and all that stuff that good animal owners do. They love their pets, and that's excellent. Shooting portraits and sketches, and here's the layout that I'm thinking about for you and stuff that wasn't in the contract. It's just stuff I like to do for people, such as with this piece here. Brianna, I shot a copy of the video over and stuff. I'm like, hey, here's me working on this for you. If you have any changes, please tell me now. Luckily, she didn't. She really likes it so far. So, cross my fingers that that's gonna remain the same when I ship this one out to her. But I like keeping people in the loop when it comes to their artwork, because my artwork doesn't come cheap. I spend a lot of hours on it, and some people don't realize that, and that's why I don't get as many commissions as I used to. But I'll get into that story later. Basically, what happens here is I kept her in the loop. Hey, here's where we're at. You like it? You like it? Awesome, perfect, love it. Right? And everything seemed to be perfect. Everything was awesome. It was a good client relationship at that point. What ended up happening is finished it off, shot it over for final approval, sent her a link to the 100% full high-res image file, which at the time I was doing it at 300 DPI, 11 by 17, because I like a nice 1-inch border around my stuff. So 11 by 17, high-res image file, 300 DPI, everything a printer could ask for when it came down to what I gave to this woman. And it wasn't just like, here's a JPEG copy of what you're looking for. Hope you like it, kind of crap. It was, here's high-res, the actual full Photoshop file when I said it's done. Here it is. Take this, and do what you wish with this. I'll be sending out the actual print of it, because she wanted to do the print through me. I'll send out the actual print of it within probably the next 3 or 4 days. So I went ahead, I loaded it up in the last tube I had, got it in the mail, and shot it off to her. About a week later, she messaged me, hey, where's the print? Oh, well, I shipped it off. It should be on its way. It should be there soon. It didn't arrive. Do you have the tracking number? Okay, sure. I gave her the tracking number. And she says, why does it say that it's coming back to you? I'm like, that's a good question. Maybe you should call them and find out. And she was like, okay, all right. So she called the shipping company. I think I used just the regular post office at this point. And they said, we couldn't find your address. Turns out she had the absolute wrong address on her PayPal information. Okay, so she had the absolute wrong address on her PayPal. Not a huge issue. I shoot her an email and say, hey, as soon as I get it back, I'll just reship it out with your right address, okay? Didn't get anything back right away. Shoot the person a message on Facebook, because they found me through Facebook. Hey, I'm going to need your real address to go ahead and get this shipped out to you. They finally replied, oh, okay, they just didn't have this part of my address, whatever XYZ part of the address it was. I believe it was the apartment number or something like that. It just wasn't on there. All right, cool. So as soon as I get it back, I'll let you know, and then I'll ship it off to you. Okay, thank you so much. You're very welcome. great working with you. Everything's really, she was really accommodating the entire time. Everything was awesome there. The package doesn't show up to my house for about another 3 weeks. Literally 3 weeks. It finally comes back. And it is in pieces. It's bent. It was kind of twisted a little bit. Looked like it was rained on multiple times over and over and over. It was abysmal. I open up the package and the artwork inside completely ripped, like practically in half. It was bad, and I think it's because I insured the package for how much the print would cost if to replace, if I needed to go ahead and replace it, and basically get some more ink if I needed to and stuff like that. So it was insured. I go ahead, I shoot her a message, hey, I just got the package back. It is in absolutely abysmal shape. And when I say abysmal, I mean it looks like a dog has been chewing on it for the past 3 weeks. So I'm not going to be able to send this out to you. The print's, it's trashed. There's nothing I can do to salvage it. So what I need to do is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to do another printout as soon as I get the money from them for the insurance. As soon as I get that, I'm going to ship you out another one. I'm also going to need to order some new tubes to be able to go ahead and send it out, because I sent it with my last one. I'm not a professional shipper, so I didn't have a whole boatload of tubes on me. I don't really get commissions that often, so well, not commissions. I usually don't get print orders that often. Usually people like to just take them and get them printed and framed all at the same time and stuff. So I'm going ahead and waiting for the money. The money finally comes maybe 2 or 3 days later, after I put it in and sent them pictures and all that kind of stuff they wanted, just to ensure that I was on the level. Shoot her a message, hey, I got the money from the shipping company. I'm still waiting on the tubes. Okay, not a problem. Alright, excellent. I went ahead, I shipped it back out maybe 3 or 4 days later. Shot her another tracking number. I hear nothing back. Everything's dead silent on her end. I shoot her another message. Hey, just want to know, did the print show up? What's kind of going on with it? It's still not here. Okay. Did you check the tracking number? I don't have it on me. All right. Well, hey, I want to thank you, for your patience here. I'm not sure what's going on shipping wise, but I'm gonna make sure I take care of it here. I go ahead and check the tracking number, and the tracking number is showing that it never actually shipped. I go to the office where I sent it in before my 9-to-5 job. I go in, I say, hey, I brought a package in here. I have the receipt with the tracking number and everything on it, but it's saying here that it wasn't shipped out at all. What's going on with that? Oh yeah, that got damaged before we went ahead and we're going to ship it out, and we didn't have your phone number on file to let you know. Oh, well, okay. Well, where is it? Is everything inside fine? What kind of damage? Turns out they didn't have it at all. They don't know what happened to it, etc., etc. Another big debacle. So while I'm in the store, I shoot a message to my client. Here's what's going on. I'm going to go home. I'm going to print off another one, and I'm going to ship it off to you. Okay. That's all I get back. I'm driving home after work, and as I'm driving home, I get a notice from PayPal that we're giving all this money back to this person. Now, I'm not, not naming names. I'm not naming how much they paid for their commission or anything. We're giving it all back. And I go, why? Well, because you didn't provide them with the product. I said that is incorrect. They paid me to go ahead and do this work. The work has been done. I have all of our chats. I have their approval that the work is done to their satisfaction, etc., etc. I kept everything. And I ship it right off to them. I email it right away. Here you go. Here's my proof. Here's everything that's going on. Well, this person here says that they were supposed to get a print, and now that it's too late now. It's been over a month, and you didn't provide them with that. I said that was a free gift that I'm sending out to them. They once again paid me for my time. They paid me for my time to create this artwork for them. So I messaged them directly, the client. What the heck's going on? Why are you wanting your money back? I didn't get what I paid for it. Yes, you have. I sent you the actual file itself a long time ago, and I told you that the prints would come because you wanted me to do the printouts. However, we ran into a lot of issues that I kept you in the loop for the entire time. This still wasn't satisfactory to this person. This person flipped out on me, called me a scam artist, and every other name under the sun. And I got a little defensive because I don't take kindly to people calling me a liar or calling me something that I'm not. It's a huge pet peeve. Some people can handle it. They just go, whatever, I know I didn't do this, blah, blah, blah. F you, move on with life. However, this turned into a very, very huge debacle. Even more than it already has been. And I will tell you that story in just a few moments. I'm going to check on the little guy. And I'm back. Thanks for waiting, everybody. He's in his room. He is still awake. He is watching MasterChef Junior and wants to see what's going to happen at the end of the video. So, I'm giving him the extra 10 minutes. Just because that's adorable. Alright, so. Where I was at with that story was she started calling me every name under the sun, calling me scam artist, and all this other kind of crap. And I kept asking very simple, solid questions to her. Hey, did I spend over 28 hours in total painting and drawing this dog for you. Well, yes, but no buts. In our contract, which it was, when I say contract, it was kind of a loose contract just based off of some kind of legally terminology kind of stuff. But basically it said, I'm going to do this art, you're going to pay me this amount of money, the end kind of thing. Well, yeah, you did, and I got, you did all that, but I didn't get the actual print. The print itself was a special gift that I was going to do. Just like I said multiple times in our conversation here, and here. Whereas I went ahead and sent her screenshots of our entire conversation. Well, that's not fair because you said that you use special archival inks, etc., which I do. I'm like, well, yeah, and so does almost every other print shop. That's called, selling the product. Here's what I'll do for you. I didn't really want to work with her anymore, but I'm reasonable, the best I can be. Here's what I'm going to do for you. I am going to go ahead, I'm going to credit you back $75 of what you paid me, which is 3 times the amount I would charge for a print of this size. And I want you to drop the PayPal dispute and release that money back. No, I want all of my money back. Okay, why do you want all of your money back if I delivered the product minus that one piece of the puzzle? You ruined my fiance's birthday. I did not ruin his birthday, I said to her. I said back to her that I did everything in my power to make sure that I got it there on time. Once I give it to a postal service, I cannot control past that point. I wish I could, because that would be probably paying me a lot more than what my current job was at the moment. But once again, try to impart, logic in a situation to where logic seemed to not exist. She never dropped it. So I just took it straight to PayPal. PayPal didn't want to do anything. They just were going to keep that money out of my account. They were going to let her get away with kind of scamming me. And I wasn't about to have that. So I went on a justice tirade. I blasted PayPal on Twitter. That finally got me headway. Someone messages me back like, "Hey, let's take this privately. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what we can do for you." All right. About time I got somebody who actually is willing to work with me and not reading off of a script. Long story short, I got my money back. The client got to keep the money as well. Basically what PayPal ended up doing was just giving me a credit for that amount. Give me that money back. To which I was happy about because I still got the money that I deserved. But I really wanted to stick it to that person as well. As vindictive and horrible as that sounds, I just really wanted PayPal to go ahead and just take the money out of her account to pay me. Do something crazy like that, I knew they wouldn't, but that would have been so perfect. During our back and forth, me and the client, at one point, the client accused me of being harassing about it, and she was going to contact the Better Business Bureau and all this other kind of like thinly veiled threats of this, that, and the other thing, and it was the most hilariously ridiculous thing ever. And the thing that kind of punctuated it home is I was friends with her fiance long before I ever spoke to this woman. At one point, I even messaged him, and I'm like, dude, this is messed up. I'm doing, someone a favor for you, basically, because it's your birthday, and things got way too out of line. I don't know what's going on, but I just want you to know that this is ridiculous that she's threatening legal action over this when I delivered. I told him, I was like, I don't want you to get involved. I want you to stay out of it. If she brings it up on your side, you tell her to not bring it up, that it's between, me and her, and this is the last you're going to hear of it. But I at least wanted to let you know what I have done to try to make this work. Because no matter what, everybody always makes themselves look better in situations like this when they're explaining things to family members. And it's true. So, needless to say, that particular friend then stayed friends with me on Facebook, but unfollowed me. Didn't follow my art page anymore at all. And generally just cut me out. And I thought to myself, so if this person I've known for about 6 years at that point wants to go ahead and act that way just because I wanted to clear the air and let him know that I was doing the best I could and try to resolve this amicably, wants to cut me out, then that's fine. So, haven't really talked to him since then, and that's the story of that client. That's why I tell people who are just getting started in art and stuff to be prepared, because clients are not always going to go smoothly. When you're first starting, they might, because you're going to have mostly friends and family members who are trying to at least help out your art a little bit and help out your dream. So they'll, we'll pay you to do a portrait of Uncle Fred or whoever. They try to encourage you and stuff. And I had that a little bit. I had family members and stuff, but the one thing is with when I first started out, I did the huge mistake of undervaluing my artwork right out the gate. So I'd be spending 20, 25 hours over the course of a week or two to do these pieces for friends and family. And by the end of it, after those 25 hours, I would go ahead and be like, alright, so that's going to be $50. And they're like, okay, and they'd pay me my $50, and I'd have like 5 or 6 commissions going on at the same time, and I'd be getting $50 to $75 each commission, and I felt like I was doing really well because I was getting so many commissions and stuff like that. And then I stopped to myself and I thought about it. I'm like, if I'm going ahead and getting this amount of money for a piece, I'm making pennies on the dollar. So I decided that's not the way I was going to do things. And I am going to go grab a charger because my back is about to die. All types of technical issues tonight. I tried to live stream a couple different things earlier, like my logo and stuff, and that did not work. So I'm going to figure that out later. Alright, faithful viewers, I'm back. Mac is being charged, finally. Son is asleep. Well, he doesn't have his video games anymore, and he doesn't have his iPad, so he will be falling asleep. So, no more distractions until my roommate comes home, and she'll probably barge in here. We'll see. What a night. What a night. So that's all taken care of. Again. He had to tell me a story about Superman and Batman fighting a lion. My hair is a wreck. Because I don't do anything with it. Who am I here to impress? I'm not here to be a Twitch sex symbol. I couldn't be one if I wanted to. I might try. Put on a sexy dress. See how that goes. No. I can't even joke about it. I can't do it. I couldn't afford enough fabric to make a dress that would fit me. So yes, watch your clients, fellow artists who are getting started in things. Because your clients will be your best, worst friends most of your career. Luckily, I don't always have bad clients. fact, a lot of my clients I've had really good experiences with. It's just the bad ones you always remember when it comes to clients. I had clients who I'd be done with a portrait completely, and like I said, I always keep clients in the loop, so I've sent updates upon updates, and then I'd finish it up. Everything was looking good on my side. I shoot it off to them, and they go, I don't like the head that you used on my husband there, or my son, or whoever I was drawing. I was like, well, those are the reference pictures that you provided. Yeah, can you make them smile? I can. I just need to replace their entire head and just kind of redraw that. Can I get a reference image of what they look like smiling, since you sent me an image of them just kind of scowling? Like, I can make it up, but a smile, usually they'll have their teeth showing, and I don't know what their teeth look like. So I mean, if you want me to make it up, I can. Yeah, just make it up. All right, sure, I'll do that for you. So I'd go ahead and I'd draw this gentleman with a nice new fresh pair of teeth and all that kind of stuff. And what happens? He looks nothing like that. Okay, well, what does he's missing this tooth, or whatever. And this is why I ask for certain things, everybody. If I ask you for something, there is a reason. It's because I need to know what somebody looks like. You can't just say, hey, can I go ahead and have you draw my husband? Here's a vague description of what he looks like. Oh, that's the way it goes. Here's a vague description. Alright, it looks nothing like him. Son of a bitch. There we go. But, that's the stories, folks. Those are the stories. You stick with them when you like them, or you don't. I got the jokes. Not really. In terms of art training, like I said, I had a few years of commercial art training, which was always pretty fun. I went to my local vocational technical school for that. They just had some pretty good programs for being a local vo-tech. They had a graphic design program, which I tried a little bit, and graphic design at that time wasn't really for me as much as I thought it would be. They focused more on the industrial side of things for the graphic design there, to prepare you for a career, because that's the way it was. We'd have big printing presses, and we'd learn to silk screen shirts and stuff like that. It was more the industrial side of the design world, which is perfect. I mean, I kind of wish I remembered some of that stuff now. I don't, but I was like, well, I want to focus more on just the creative side of art here. And then I found out about the commercial arts program, and they had us learn art history and everything. We had to use all the different techniques. One of my favorite ones was when we got to learn stippling and everything. And I already knew how to stipple, but we got to do this Egyptian piece using just stippling, and I really enjoyed doing it. I thought it was really fun and fit the Egyptian theme. But I made some good friends at the time there, and haven't really seen many of them since. My best friend in art class, by the end of it was this kid named Russ. Russ Weiss was his last name. And me and him we got along. We'd listened. Keep in mind, this was the late 90s at this point. So this is when Jenkos were still impossibly huge, and he wore those all the time. He had these Jenkos that were just gigantic. And, he wore his Jenkos, and me and him, we'd sit in class. Because most of the time after the instruction was there, it was just, okay, that's your project, let's go ahead and explore your art and make something commercially viable. We'd sit there and we'd be listening to just industrial goth music and having fun. And he'd introduced me to some industrial bands that I'd never heard of at the time, and I'd introduced him to metal bands he may have heard of, but just didn't know whether or not they were for him. And it was fun. It was real fun. Art class was just fun in general. I remember a few times there would be no teacher for like the first couple introductory art classes. There was just nobody, no teacher anywhere. And I don't remember the art teacher's name for the intro to commercial art classes and stuff, but he just never was there most of the time, and we would just do the most abysmally stupid stuff. Because I was the digital guru at the time. There was other better pure artists than I was, but you put me in front of Photoshop, which was like Photoshop 3.0, I think back then was what we were in, maybe. You put me in front of Photoshop, and I could work wonders, and people would be like, because it's a bunch of idiot high school kids. Hey, if I bring you this picture of the supermodel, could you make her not have any clothes on? That'd be awesome, kind of things. And me, I can do that. I don't know if I really want to, but you're gonna pay me $10 to do it. Sure, whatever. And at the time, we didn't have any Wacom tablets or anything like that. At least not in the art class. I think Wacom was around then, of course, but we didn't have any Wacom tablets or anything. So I'd do this ridiculous photo retouching of horrendously low resolution images. And I mean horrendously low, because this was, hey, 72 ppi, that's perfect. Perfect. Yeah, not really. And I'd, just go ahead and, yeah, there you go. I airbrushed out this person's bikini top because for some reason you just want this model's topless figure. So that's what they came to me for, and then I just stopped. I got so bored of doing it because people just kept asking me to do stupid stuff like that. Hey, I brought in this picture. Can you Photoshop my brother's girlfriend into it like she's kissing me so I can go ahead and make him jealous? Got $15. I got the time. But it got boring. It was stupid too. Stupid and boring is pretty much what it was. So that's my basic story. Still keep in touch with some of my art school friends, which is nice, because not many people think of that side of things anymore. When it comes to art and everything, people tend to really think selfishly. When I first started getting into art again, which was, like I said, back in early 2012. And I was looking up stuff online. Hey, what's the best websites to get my artwork out there and stuff like that. And I tried to get involved in art communities and stuff, ask questions. Hey, do you know how to do this XYZ type of technique? Or, one of my heroes is XYZ artists. Can anybody kind of help me? Oh, that guy's a hack. Why would you want to do anything like him? Oh, you do all of your art digitally? Digital artists aren't real artists. I'm like, well, I can pick up a pencil and pen, and I could go ahead and render you out like just for instance, like an eyeball. Do you want a photorealistic eyeball? I can do it. I just don't have the hardware, the actual supplies to be able to do it right now. I don't work on traditional media because I like doing stuff digitally. It makes it a little bit easier on me, and if I'm not having fun and I'm not enjoying doing the art, and I'm worried more of, well, I have this piece to finish, but I need to go out and spend $150 on some more art supplies because I completely run out. All of my colored pencils are just a nub. I need to buy an entire new set. If I have to worry about that stuff, then I'm not worrying about the composition. I'm not worrying about making someone look good. I'm not worried about enjoying the process of creation. And if I'm not enjoying the process of creation, if I start to get bored, I just can't handle being bored when it comes to something with art. I, at one point, did quit doing commissions for people I didn't know for a while because things were just not fun. And people are like, well, if you're trying to make it a job, not all jobs are supposed to be fun. Well, no, they're not. And every job has its faults. Every job has its headaches and its foibles and stuff like that. I understand that. I'm not completely, blind to the fact that this is the art business. Business is still a big part of it. But I still want to have fun doing it. I mean, shit. If you can't have fun with trying to make an art career, then you're not in the right career. And I did a lot of stuff before I decided that, hey, you know what? Art is where I want to really focus on. I've made short films. I've written screenplays. I've done a lot of 3D animation stuff, 3D rendering, all that kind of stuff I kind of tried first. And I still like doing that stuff. But I got bored with it really quick. And what that meant to me was, okay, so this is a good hobby. It's something that you could use to maybe enhance your art or something like that. But it is not where you're meant to be. In fact, sometimes when I'm commissioned something and I just can't seem to get something right, occasionally I'll go ahead and do a quick 3D model of something. Like, I was going to do a poster for an independent film that involved a shopping cart on the cover and stuff, and I couldn't find a reference image because I'm really bad with perspective. I couldn't find a reference image that really could help me get the perspective down. Everything was just from the wrong perspective of what the client wanted me to have. So I said to myself, the only way I'm going to get this and get it to look right is either go out and photograph a shopping cart myself, and this was in the dead of winter, and I just really didn't want to go outside. Or number two option, why don't I just go ahead and render a 3D shopping cart, and then I'll just be able to move it around anywhere I really want to take a quick screenshot of it, and then I'll have a really good reference in the exact perspective I need. And that's what I did. And it worked out splendidly. I had my little 3D shopping cart, and it wasn't textured at all. Nothing like that was going on. It was just bare bones 3D shopping cart that I just rendered really quick, and it helped me on a project. So, using those skills and finding your passion is infinitely important. And that's what I would implore anybody to really do. If you're finding yourself get bored, then please try something else at first. That's not saying give up. Not like I'm trying to draw this rose 150 different ways and it's just not working. I must not be meant to be an artist kind of shit. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, well, I can do this. I have the technical side of things down. Okay, someone asks me to draw a snake, I'll draw a snake, but I'm not having fun. I'm just not enjoying doing this. Then you're not finding what you want to do. That's not what you're meant to do at that point yet. Just like someone comes up to me and goes, yeah, could you go ahead and draw me myself as an anime character? I could, but I'm not a huge anime fan, so that's not fun to me. And honestly, I wouldn't be the right guy for the job. And I'm very honest. If a client comes up to me with an idea and I don't think I can pull it off, or I don't think that I'm the right guy for it, but I know somebody who would be the right guy for it, I ship them off to somebody else. And all my non-art friends are like, what's wrong with you? Why would you do that? Why would you go ahead and tell somebody that you can't do it when they're willing to give you money to sit there and do art? Because I'm not the right person for it. I don't want to go ahead and half-ass something for a client just because I want an extra $15 in my pocket. I don't want to sit down there and have my name be on something that I wouldn't like being out there. Because this is the digital age. People will share stuff. People will go ahead and be like, yeah, I got this done, and they might be really happy with that piece of work. They might love it. They might think it's the greatest piece of art that has ever been done for all of mankind. They might think that of your piece, and that's great that they might think that way. But if I'm not happy with it, I don't want my name to be out there and associated with something. If I draw a really crappy looking, anime furry or something for someone, just because I want their money, then guess what? There's going to be other people out there who like that crappy furry style. I'm not saying if you're into furries that it's crappy. It's your own thing, but the style, like say I do it just for the heck of it, but their friends who most likely are into the same things that they are going to like it. And then they'll be like, oh, where did you get that done? I want something like that too. Then your name gets brought up, and it gets brought up for doing that kind of stuff. And then you'll get more calls on it, and you'll get more emails. Hey, I saw you did this My Little Pony version of my friend XYZ here, and she told me that you're the guy to go to draw this stuff. No, I'm not. I'm not here to draw you My Little Ponies. I'm here to do detailed art. That's what I like doing. And I wasn't very good at it for a while, but that's what I like doing. I like doing the kind of poster work that I grew up with. That's what I like to do. I think that's the most fun that I could ever really have, is just doing that kind of art. It's just fun to me. And it's not in vogue anymore. There's not really any movie studios out there who are knocking down everybody's doors in my business saying, we need you to do our poster art. We need that. And, the funny thing is, when posters get done that way, everybody's like, this is a revelation. Why aren't more posters being done this way? Like with the artwork for Stranger Things from Kyle Lambert. I talked with him about this about a week or so after he finished the Stranger Things art, and it was actually out on Netflix and everything. I shot him a message. I was like, Kyle, I just want to talk to you about this, and he even said it himself. I mean, he originally got notoriety from doing the Morgan Freeman portrait on his iPad, and a lot of people didn't believe that he did the art and that whole controversy and stuff, but here he is. He has a career, and he's doing hand-drawn art, and he does it mostly on iPad, and then he brings it into Photoshop and all that kind of stuff. You can check out his website if you're interested in his process. He kind of talks about it a few different ways, and talks about it a lot on his Instagram and stuff too. But even he, who has done very beloved artwork for a show that everybody has at least seen. Not everybody loves it. I actually am not a Stranger Things fan at all. But I won't go into that. This isn't a movie, a movie stream at all. If you want to talk movies, let me know though. I'll talk movies with you. But everybody's at least seen the art. Everybody's seen the actual thing. There's posters still up in Hollywood everywhere for it. And I think they're. I'm not sure about this, but they're probably going to bring him back for more art for season 2, possibly. I don't know. I haven't talked to him in a few months, but it's even with that, you still have to claw, you still have to scrape, and you still have to really focus on getting commissions as much as possible, because Hollywood thinks that people, specifically moviegoers, are absolutely 100% unequivocally morons. And I have facts to back me up on this. It's not just me kind of going, well, I think Hollywood thinks that everybody's a moron. I'm not just saying that. I have a friend who has been in the Hollywood system for a while. He's pitched movies and stuff like that to many higher ups at places like, I believe, Sony and things like that. So he's a pretty in there kind of writer, and worked with him on a few projects and everything. And I talked with him the one day because he hired me to do some art for him, and I asked him, I was like, so you're kind of in the system, you're part of that Hollywood mystique, sort of, despite not living anywhere near Hollywood, which you don't have to anymore, thankfully. But you love this kind of art. You strive to have this kind of art for your projects and stuff like that. What the hell is going on in Hollywood then? If why is this art not popular? Can you shed any light on it? And he's like, oh, I absolutely can. And he told me a story that he was working on a movie, and he went ahead and suggested a hand-drawn poster. Just a suggestion. Hey, we should probably do this poster hand-drawn. I think that would really fit the aesthetic that we want to push forward about this movie, and that's my suggestion. We should get somebody to hand-draw this poster. And this is before I knew him, so it wasn't like he was trying to do a friend a favor or something. And he's like, I pitched that to them. And do you know what they told me? And of course, I'm like, how would I know what they told you? I've never heard this story before. And he goes, "You're going to think I'm lying. I swear it's true. They told me that hand-drawn posters should not be used, and hand-drawn posters aren't the right way to market movies, because if a fan or a moviegoer is online or in the theater looking at posters, and they see a poster that's hand-drawn, that's painted, that has any type of aesthetic like that." And this is a major motion picture company that said this. Not small independent ones. Independent film companies still love our artwork, but they don't have much money. They will think, the moviegoer, the average moviegoer will think that the movie is an animation just because the poster is drawn. They will think the poster is for an animated film. This is what Hollywood thinks of you. They think that you look at a poster like Back to the Future, which is hand-drawn, as you know, from Drew Struzan. They think you look at that poster and go, "I want to see that animated film." Now, I know that 1985 was a different time, but that's the Hollywood mentality. They think their audience are absolute morons. If you couldn't tell from looking at certain crazes in Hollywood, like when Scary Movie was a hit, and then every production company under the sun says, "We're going to do a parody movie too of this kind of thing. We have disaster movie, we have band movie, we have freaking Snake the movie, we have this, that, the other thing." Whatever, they put out, all the drivel out there. Because it makes money. Because that's just the way it goes. But ever since they started going and pushing those pixels around with just, I hate this terminology because it doesn't really fit, but the photoshopped image kind of setup, to where it's just big floating heads, somebody's angry, somebody's seductive, and then that's your poster kind of thing. To quote, to very, very poorly paraphrase Tom Jane. Tom Jane said that about posters in a Drew Struzan documentary I watched once. So that's him. They don't respect you in Hollywood. They don't respect the audience. And I'm a Hollywood audience too. I love really stupid movies sometimes. I can't deny it. If a movie's dumb but it's fun, that's fine. That's fine with me. But I don't think a movie's animated just because the poster's drawn. I don't get it. And there's boutique companies out there like Mondo and stuff who are trying to push the artwork forward and everything, but they're still just a boutique company. That's all they are, is a boutique company. And boutique, as everybody knows, any company that's marketed as a boutique company means we will charge you a lot of money for the privilege of having our limited edition prints. And that kind of hurts the barrier of entry as well for people. Because when you think about it, they're a boutique company. So if they're only going to put out 75 prints of a piece of artwork, right? They have to pay the artist for the artwork, or if they do, I don't know how they do stuff. They might do cuts of the sales or something like that. I can't say for sure. I haven't worked for Mondo. But they have all of this stuff that they could do, and they have to kind of focus on. So if they don't think your artwork's marketable, they don't think your artwork's good enough to sell a boatload, you still can't get your foot in a place like that. Even though they're trying to get people's artwork out there. So it's one of those things. The whole point of this tirade, if you came in late here, was talking about just having a passion for doing the actual job itself, passion for actually creating art. Because if you don't have it, there's really not going to be a point. You're not going to get rich off of doing poster art in 2017. You might get lucky. If you have the talent, your work will get seen. If your work gets seen by the right people, that's perfect. My work still hasn't been seen by the right people yet. A lot of people have seen my work. A lot of people really like my work. A lot of people have paid me compliments of my work that I disagree with. But just that's putting it lightly. I've gotten some compliments from higher up people about some of my work that I'm just like, you're flipping out of your mind. You don't know what you're talking about. But I'll accept it. Just, if you love doing art, just do art for the sake of it. Don't get wrapped up in the hype of I'm an internet artist or anything like that. Just don't do it. Just do art. Love doing art. Share your art experience, your know-how, everything like that. Share it with friends who are also artists. Be a community, you know. If you thought of or found a technique or something that you think another artist might be able to really work with and make something incredible out of, tell them about it. You know, like when I started doing my portraits, I went to my friend Frank, who does a lot of really great pixel art. He does a lot of Illustrator work and stuff like that. Stuff I can't do. Or at least I'm not good enough at it yet to do it. But, I go to him, and he would get in a funk every now and then, and I'd talk to him and be like, what's wrong? Oh, I think my art's kind of stagnating. I'm not really getting as many commissions as I've gotten before, blah, 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 blah. And so I was like, well, what do you want to do about that? Oh, I'd love to be able to do stuff like you do. All right, well, do it. That's as blunt as I put it. I don't have that kind of skill to do that, he would say back to me. And I'd be like, what I do doesn't take skill. It takes time. It takes a lot of time at points. But that's all it does, is it just takes time. And I was like, how about this? How about I put together some type of tutorial for you? And this is before I started doing any type of YouTubing or anything like that. So I didn't have anything like this to pop up to him and be like, hey, check out my Twitch feed. I'm going through step by step on how I do my artwork. Take it and roll with it. I don't have that. But I would tell him this, and I still can't do what you can do. Yes, you can. I know you can. I can teach anybody who is remotely artistic how to do this.
I guess Andrew wouldn't fall asleep without his light on?
Correct, he would not.
Why?
Because his lantern was down.
Was he upset that I left? I didn't seem like he was.
No, he was fine. I'm live streaming, by the way.
I suppose that's a good thing. My baby's not a baby anymore.
How was the gym? How was the gym?
June was hot and sweaty.
I don't need that kind of profanity on my Twitch stream.
Well, you won't touch my back?
I do not. I am working.
Okay, so I guess if you weren't working, you want to touch a hot, sweaty back?
No.
Well, you need to really word yourself. Not that I'm offering you to touch my back.
Oh, I am glad that you are not doing said thing.
I smell my sweaty stats.
No, I do not.
Oh, I thought you were really going for that one.
Told you. So back to it here. I can literally teach anybody how to do what I do. You have to have patience, and I think that's what some people don't focus on is, do I have the patience to do something like this? You might. You might. If you're looking to just get quick results, this style probably is not for you. If you think the word tracing is an evil, dirty word, and that it doesn't have a valid technique, or even if you don't want to trace, if you want to, or say you want to, I want to do this a little bit different, and you want to use the grid method, which every single art class has taught the grid method. Every class teaches the different methods. Renaissance painters used camera obscuras, and they would trace certain images and stuff. All it is a tool. Now, if right now I was going ahead and, at this point in a drawing, kind of going pixel by pixel and, tracing everything, every single line exactly, every single color, making sure everything was exactly where it was on the other reference here. Yeah, I could see getting angry at that, and I'd get angry at that too. But if you're trying to get a portrait of accuracy and you only have a little bit of time to do it, just trace it in. Trace the basic shapes in, and then use what you know as an artist. Use it and try to make things better. In almost every one of these pictures on the reference, you can't see this particular person's eyes very well. You can see them, but there's no wow factor. There's no highlights in some of the eyes. There's stuff that's in shade and everything like that. And that doesn't make for a very compelling image sometimes. So you add it in. You give their eyes a little bit more. You put a highlight where there wasn't a highlight. You change some lighting around to make things more interesting. That's putting your own flair, your own style onto something, which is very important, in my opinion, to do and to do properly. So this is where we're at so far. I'm going to continue, and keep in mind, if you're looking here, down in one of these corners, where is it? It'd be that corner, over there. If you look at that corner, there is that donate button. Anything helps. I'm trying to get a new tablet. I have an older Intuos Pro that the pressure sensitivity is not working right. My pen's been broken in so many different ways, and the surface itself is just glossy at this point. It's like drawing on glass. So I'd like to, at some point, get a new tablet of some kind. So if you have a couple bucks, make sure to go ahead and click on that donate button down there and shoot some money my way. And of course you get your little shout out, get things popping up on the screen and all types of crazy stuff to celebrate you being awesome. There we go. So, like I said, with the artistic side of things, I'm adding white highlights where there wasn't white highlights, and I'm going to be drawing the water line around the eye, making that a little bit more bold than what it shows in the reference, giving this eye a highlight, things that just don't show up. I like to have eyes that look can pop out at you. And just little things can make the difference. Just like that. My eyeball's looking much better than it was. So we got that there. Put another highlight right around here. And sometimes it might not make sense fully as to why things are a certain way, but if I like the way something looks, somebody else might like the way it looks too, some way down the road. You may have noticed when I first was painting in this eye, I made the eye itself a lot more pink than eyes are. Usually the whites of your eyes aren't very white. They're very almost kind of a grayish white with a little bit of red thrown in there, a little bit of pink. But I like to make things what people kind of think they look like. That might sound strange, but when you think the whites of somebody's eyes, you think there's blood vessels underneath and stuff like that. And I don't go that insane on pieces like this where I'll put in blood vessels or anything, unless there's a reason for it. But adding a little bit extra red in there where there might not be, that helps solidify the eye shape. And like with the nose, the bridge of the nose and stuff, try not to use too many lines in the bridge of the nose. Most of the time I'll just use no lines, because I don't know, I can't explain it. I'm horrible at noses most of the time. I'm getting better. Practice makes perfect. Drawing daily, that definitely will help anybody out there. You keep drawing and go that way. And one of those things with my one friend, he has a YouTube channel. He's known as the Mad Penciler. His name's Wayman, and he would whoop your butt if you weren't drawing daily. He loves really pushing that fact forward. People ask him all the time on Instagram, "Hey, how do I get to be as good at drawing hands as you are?" "Well, are you drawing every day?" Well, no, I don't have time." "Well, that's why." He'll just leave it at that. He won't offer any more advice other than, you want to draw daily. Just draw. Do it. Don't want to hear any excuses. He's ridiculous. He just started tattooing not that long ago too, and his tattoo work is phenomenal. But look him up. It's the Mad Penciler with 2 D's in Mad. He does great stuff. He has a YouTube channel, and he's on Instagram, and he just has this really smooth, flowing style to his artwork that just blows me away every time. Every time I see one of his new pieces, I'm just like, God damn it. Wish I had money to commission him to do something. Which, that's what it comes down to. Other artists, we love supporting other artists. If you're in a good community of artists. But we usually don't have the money to do so. Wayman's ridiculously affordable, though. I'll tell you that. He undervalues his artwork quite a bit. I told him this the other day, actually. It was just like, I asked him, "Hey, how much are your commissions going for lately? If I come into some money, I want to get something done." He linked me to his website and stuff to check out the pricing. I messaged him back. I'm like, "Are you absolutely out of your mind? What do you mean? Your prices are so in the dirt cheap that you're not going to be able to build your brand up any further if you don't just start, take a step back, get some more money in." He turns to me and he goes, "Yeah, well, You're not the only person who told me that. I'm like, well, then maybe you should start listening. Just like I said, I used to do commissioned pieces for $50 here. I had a $5 special once where, hey, you just throw me some money into my PayPal and I will freaking draw you whatever you want for $5. Because I was just desperate. I really wanted to get my name out there, and I really wanted to have some extra money in my pocket, because I just was struggling. I still am struggling financially, but at the time it was dire straits. So I'd just walk up to anybody, hey, here's my PayPal. You wanna throw me a couple extra bucks? I'll paint you. Or, hey, what do you want done? Oh, well, I want Bill Murray from Darjeeling Limited. I want a portrait of him answering the phone. All right, don't know why. And I'd do it, and I'd spend hours upon hours upon hours on it for just a little bit of money, But that's all right, because it got me a little bit of a reputation. But once I plotted it out and realized I was literally making fractions of a cent per hour on doing this work, I was killing myself, and my portfolio wasn't any better for it, because I'd start rushing things just to kind of get them out, because I had 17, 18 different commissions at the same time, and nothing was looking right again. And took a step back and realized I was undervaluing myself. That's why commissioned portraits like this one here, which you've seen me put in about, I did about 2 hours on it tonight here so far, and then I did a whole 2-hour live stream the other night just on this piece. So you've seen just about 4 hours of it, and you can tell I'm not done yet. So I put in about 4 hours here on this piece that you've seen, and then I had about another 10 or so on it so far. So looking at about 19 hours I have in on this. And, portraits like this, if you want to commission one, costs $500 is what I do for those, and that includes the free print if you want it. And if you want to pay a little bit less, you don't need to get the print from me. It only brings it down to $475, but honestly about 12 of that goes towards shipping it. It's just to cover shipping costs. But it's, if you want to commission a portrait, let me know. Check my social media accounts out, srice13 at Twitter, and then my Instagram is ThatStevenRice. Same with my website, ThatStevenRice.com, and my Facebook, you got it, ThatStevenRice. It's building a brand there. So if you're looking for commission work, let me know, and I will fit you in the schedule, hopefully sooner than later, because I'd love to keep doing this full time, but I don't know if I can much longer. I need to go back to a 9-to-5 job just to keep the lights on, as it were. There we go. My dog is staring at me. I'm gonna get him out of the room. Stop harassing the cat's anchor. Oh, right. He loves harassing my cats. Loves it. Right now, as you can tell, I'm trying to get the details in there now. My goal whenever I'm doing a piece like this is that when you view it from far away, you take a look at it and it should look almost like a photograph, other than the outlines and stuff like that I put in there stylistically. And then when you get up close, you get right up there, you can see that it's not photorealistic. You're seeing all the lines, all the mistakes that have been made, everything like that you're seeing in there. And I like that. I like people going ahead and, well, maybe you could have done a little bit better there, but it looks fantastic anyway, kind of thing. I don't like that line. Why did I put that line there? I don't know. That's one thing about art. Art is very subjective, and not everybody is going to like what you do. I've been told. I'd like everybody to like what I do. I have issues handling criticism at points. There's reasons behind it that I won't get into. Just because it involves people that might be watching at some point, or will hear about it and then get angry. Like my roommate, but that's the way it goes. Alright. There we go. So, where I'm at now is a good midpoint kind of place. And I'm sure I make tons of weird faces when I draw, and I'll go back and I'll watch this footage later and be like, everybody's going to hate me. I'm going to look horrible. My face is all red and flushed and greasy and tired. This is the real life. I'm going to go back and I'm going to finish painting the main head. So, the thing with the larger portrait side of things is it's a lot easier to get hung up on details than you might anticipate. So, you have to be careful. Like when I go to render this hair after I layer in the colors, I guarantee you I am going to try and layer every single color one hair at a time. That's what I do. Get too hung up on the detail side of things at times. Right now I'm not. I'm just trying to get the colors to look pretty close, kind of close. I'll color pick from the original image for hair colors and stuff. Or if I'm having a really hard time getting a skin tone right, because I'm still, in the grand scheme of art, I am very much so new at professional art. I mean, very much so. There's guys around there that I know who've been doing it for 25, 30 years, stuff like that, and you know, they still have their 9-to-5 jobs and all that kind of stuff. And they do a lot of high-profile work, but doesn't keep the lights on. Alright. There we go. Photoshop is the devil sometimes. Photoshop on Windows is the devil a lot of times. I swear. Like, I'm not a... Like, I love Apple stuff, but I'm not one of those do-or-die Apple people. I like working with stuff that gets me the results I want. If there's a better program and it works better on PC, I will do it on PC. That's why I have both. I have my PC and I have my Mac. And I have multiple Macs because I like Mac better overall. I know I said I wasn't a fanboy, but everything that I tend to do just does work better on my Macs. But in this instance, Photoshop on PC lately has been a horrendous headache, and I'm hoping beyond hope that it's actually something more akin to just my PC itself, not PCs in general. Like, not that there's like a virus or something, but just the hardware itself not being the greatest at times. There we go. Remember to color inside the lines, folks. Because I do that often. Not really. There we are. Like I said, if you were watching earlier when I was doing Inspire Pro stuff, about 2 hours ago, I finished up the Inspire Pro stuff. Well, not finished, but got it very close. There I said that doing masks and stuff was a lot of times your best friend, and that's very, very true. When I do paintings like this, to where once the initial concept is started, once the references are picked, the layout's approved, stuff like that, there's no changes that come with things. It's not like, oh, well, I decided to remove one of my eyeballs, so I'm going to have you put pirate patches on everybody else around me so I don't feel self-conscious. That doesn't happen often. So I do erase more than mask things when I'm doing when I'm doing any type of portrait work like this, unless I have an idea and I know that it's something that I'm going to have to mask off to do later. That'll change things. I'm going to check on my Inspire stuff and see what we got here.
The movie that I'm posting is like 20 something on it. So tired, dude.
There we go. Just making sure that what I think is final is, because this needs to get done like ASAP. And I don't want to waste too much time if it's not done. So I'll go back and work on that a little bit. So I got the hair blocked in. Add a little bit more shading to the neck here. That's the issue. Oh, heavens me, oh Murgatroyd. There we go. Nicer. I was wondering why I wasn't getting any smooth transition when I was airbrushing this part, and it was because I had my flow all the way up to 90%. And that is not where I personally want it to ever be, unless I am just filling in solid spots of color. So one thing when you're looking at the reference photo, there's not really huge portions of dark areas. There's a couple bits here and there, and that makes it feel very flat. Say if I go ahead and I just throw a quick black and white filter over top of everything. There's tons of contrast down at the bottom and hardly any in her face. And there's plenty of contrast here and here and here. I need to lighten up a couple spots, but getting this contrast and getting the values in the face here, I really want to focus on tonight. So if I don't get this right, the whole portrait could fall apart relatively quickly at this point. I do not want that to happen. Figure out some of this texture on this face for now. A lot lighter areas I didn't put in here quite yet. A lot of highlights. That's probably why things are just not looking right to me. It happens. Like the chin, not highlighting enough. My cats want to go out of the room. I'm going to let them out. Go. Go, Spunky. Wunderbar. Use a brighter highlight. Let's focus in on this here. And let's see what we have going on. All right. Boom. Kind of run out of things to say about this piece for you guys. Honestly, I don't even think anybody's watching. I think that I am the only person watching this stream right now. So that's fine. I'm not really worried about it, but go. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Kind of at an impasse when it comes to this. I really want this to look right. And I want to get this done for her as soon as I can. A little bit selfishly, because I want to get the last half of the payment, because I need to be able to buy groceries this week, because I paid all my bills for the most part, and have very little money. So, but I refuse to say it's done unless I feel it's done. And once the portrait part's done, everything kind of falls into place then at that point. It's really, yes, you gotta do that, and then I work on background colors, and then I'll put different highlights and stuff in there, and just kind of go from there. I'd like to point out that I definitely am only being watched by myself. So that's fine. No biggie. That being said then, honestly, I know I'm just being watched by myself. I'm going to cut the stream. It's been about 2.5 hours. But I do want to thank anybody who watches this later for watching. I do try to live stream every night. Usually starting 9:30 to 10 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. Usually stream for about 2.5-3 hours, give or take. Check out my Twitter, srice13, Instagram at ThatStevenRice, website ThatStevenRice.com, and find me on Facebook, same thing, ThatStevenRice. Either way, thank you for watching. If you did watch, if you have any questions, get at me in chat some point. That's what we're here for, is chat. And that's about it. This has been ThatStevenRice. I'm signing off in my Zoom. Alright. Have a good night, everybody.